In this lecture, we will learn programs for scatter, bar, and histogram. But first, let's have a look into the definition of scatter, bar, and histogram. First, see scatter. Scatter plots a single dot for each observation. So what does it mean? Let's understand it through a scatter plot. Here you can see this is a scatter plot. And for each x value, there is some y value denoted by these dots, which we call observations. So basically, it plots a relation between variables. And to draw a scatter plot, we need a scatter function. And this scatter function takes arguments as arrays for the values of x and y axis. Now we'll write programs to plot scatter on Google Colab editor later on in this lecture. Now see plotting of bar. Bar represents the total amount of observations in the data. Let's understand it through a bar chart. In this bar chart, you can see for 1, the total amount of observation is 4. And for 2, the total amount of observation is 2.5. And in same way, for 3, it's 3.5. And for 4, it's 4.5. The bar function can be used to plot bar graphs. And this bar function's arguments as arrays describe the layout of the bars. And we'll write program on Google Colab notebook for bar also, so that we'll understand it better. But before that, let's understand histogram. A histogram is a graph that represents frequency distributions through rectangles. Now, what is frequency distribution? Frequency distribution means that how often each different value of data occurs. Let's understand it through an example. Suppose there are 15 newborn babies in a hospital whose ages in days are given this. So, this can be shown in frequency distribution as age of 1 to 2 days, there are 6 newborn babies. Therefore, its frequency will be 6. And age of 3 to 4 days, there are 5 newborn babies. Therefore, frequency of 3 to 4 days age group is 5. And in same way, the frequency of age group 5 to 6 is 4. So basically, in histogram, we divide the entire range of values into series of intervals. Now let's see a sample histogram for an example. In this histogram, you can see the frequency distribution of different range of values. For example, the frequency of range 1 to 5 is 5, and 5 to 9 is 11, 9 to 13 is 23, 13 to 7 is 24, and so on. And we will use hist function to plot histograms. Now we'll write programs for scatter, bar, and histogram on Google Colab notebook. And here we'll try programs for scatter, bar, and histogram. But before that, let me show you one important thing. In this program we executed it last lecture, that we can change this data into variables, as it is very unlikely to pass data instead of variables. And how can we do it? For this, we have to take two variables for say x and y and assign these data into that variables. So first take variables x and assign 1, 2 and 3, the same data. And in another variable y, assign 5, 7 and 2. Now we'll pass x and y instead of data. So write here x, and for this write y. Let's execute it, and we got the same output. Now scroll it down a little bit so that we'll try programs for scatter. Take a new text cell to make a heading and write scatter. Click this and then double click this. Take a new code cell and start writing program for scatter. Here we will copy the same code. So copy this code and paste it here. We'll just make some changes. Here we have to write scatter, and then title will be scatter instead of line draw. Let's run this, and we got the scatter plot with 3 points. We can also increase points, so take some more points. For example, 5, 4, 8, 6 and 9. Here also take 4, 7, 8, 2, 1, and then execute this, and here we got the scatter plot with more points. Now we'll try program for bar. Take a new text cell, write bar, click here, then double click this. Take a new code cell, and then we'll copy the same code. Copy this and paste it here. We'll make some changes here. First we have to call bar function instead of scatter, and we'll make changes in title also. So write here bar. Let's execute this program, and we got the bar chart. Now we'll try a program for histogram. So let's take a new text cell and make a heading histogram. Click this and double click this. Take a new code cell. Again we'll copy the same program, but we have to make more changes this time. Copy this. Here we have to take only one variable and delete this y variable. Now consider the same example we discussed for histogram. Suppose we assign age of newborn babies in a variable x and take some more value, 4, 6, 7, 2, 3, 5, 1, 8, 7, 4. Now this is the ages of newborn babies. So we have to call hist function to create histogram, and we have to pass variable x only, so that it will create frequency distribution of this data. And we have to make one more change here, that is title. So write here histogram. That's it. Now execute this program to find histogram. Let's run this, and we got the histogram for this data. And here you can see age with 1 day there are 2 newborn babies. Age with 2 days, there are 2 newborn babies. Age with 4 days, there are 3 newborn babies. Age with 5 days, there are 2 newborn babies. And age with 9 days, there is 1 newborn baby. So that's it for today. Now we'll learn some other things also in next lecture.